Hello, YouTube. We are here for our 2-in-1 Walk with Jesus Wednesday and our activation call, and we are going to talking about dependency this week. And so the title for today is Jesus Never Lived Independently, Neither Should We, and it's time to uncage your heart. We have been backstage talking, and we're like, we've already had like 3 episodes, so we should have already pressed play. But here we are. We hope this finds you in a timely manner, and we hope that it builds on yesterday's Bible study about dependency. Today, we're going to look at Jesus's example, and then we're going to take that and activate living dependently, not independently, which is kind of contradictory to what the world says. So, does that stir up anything for you?
Yeah, everything. But just knowing that we get to live dependently. I'm here at my parents' house in San Diego. I get to spend time with them. My brother that usually takes is caregiving for them is out of town, so he asked me to come. And even though I had like all the kids' activities, I have my husband. Thank you, husband, for watching the kids and bringing them to all the things. They can function. Like, but I think it's just me and just having this time here and it hasn't even been long. It's only been since Monday. Oh no, Tuesday. Oh, wait, I don't even know when I'm here. No, I
Oh,
came Monday. So
Monday.
today's Wednesday, but just the last 48 hours, I did get some sleep, but like just having like I think just being present with my parents and people that were very independent from me, and now needing a little bit of help, but not a lot right now. Um, it's hard for them to be dependent on their daughter.
Mm.
But I know that a lot of people go through this with their parents, especially in our generation. Um, that I think what's been highlighted to me is that it's like we're pride holds us back from receiving. And if we've been living a certain way for a certain time, it's hard to give up that. And so dependence just it was dropped on me this weekend at church, but like just coming into this and just thinking about my parents. Um, so I'm excited to jump into like how Jesus modeled dependence because
Mm.
he was that human model for us.
Yes, the best one. You even just saying pride holds us back from receiving. And for this week, making that more specific, we get so prideful about our independence and doing it ourselves and like being strong enough to not need anybody or anything else. But yet, the kingdom is teaching us that that blocks your receiving.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and then so to take it to the step
yeah.
further of so it blocks us from receiving, but God uses people. And so you're not receiving the goodness of God when you're blocking them from being dependent on them. And like,
Mm,
I think the daughter role and the parent role, they took care of me when I was growing up. I'll probably go through this with my daughter and my sons. Um, like we're gonna get to a point maybe where we need to be dependent on them, but it's not. You in the Bible study, you kept asking like, what does dependence mean to you, and how does it feel? And yes, it was washed with the blood of Jesus, but being that like I'm here to help as as a person as their daughter, but as a person. But I'm not here to take over their lives.
mm-hmm.
So it could be like, and my intention is not to control situations. It's just to be here to help. And I think that's
Mm,
what God's saying. Like, I'm here to help. I'm not here to control your life, Cheryl. I'm here to
mm,
help.
mm.
So saying dependence is getting help from a source. That's
Yes.
what was. messing me up
Mm.
last
Well,
48
since
hours.
you just said that, I'm jumping to the next one where I was like, I didn't even do definitions. What's wrong with me? My brain's all over the place.
I know, girl.
Um,
That's what happened.
but um, I did ask for I asked our digital friend Chatty for oh my God, the dictionary and the biblical definition. Dictionary plus biblical equals digital, in case you didn't know. Dictionary definition. And the dictionary definition of dependence is the state of relying on or trusting someone or something else for support, provision, guidance, or existence. And some synonyms are reliance, trust, confidence, faith, leaning on, resting in. So dependence isn't merely needing someone, it's choosing to rely on them.
Mm.
Okay. There goes back to your choice piece, by the way. Anyway, the biblical picture is similar, but the Bible never really uses the word dependence. It is described, though, through many different words and images. So, trust is one. We talked about that yesterday from Proverbs 3:5. And that is trusting God's wisdom over your own. Abiding, which we also talked about yesterday, John 15. That means remaining connected to your source. Leaning, which we talked about in Proverbs as well. And that's where you're shifting your weight. You're not like you think about when you lean on something, whatever you're leaning on is bearing the weight, the load. And then allegiance, and that is wholeheartedly deciding who is your source and who is your governor, who is making that, who's your king, if you will, whose rules are you going to abide by. And then submission, and that is yielding your will to God's will, like Jesus does in Gethsemane. So what is dependence not? This is kind of important. It is not laziness, it's not passivity, it's not refusing responsibility or waiting without obedience or avoiding the decisions themselves. Instead, it looks like active partnership. So, if we want to put all that together, we can come up with an RMP definition that says dependence is the continual choice to wholeheartedly rely on God as your source rather than yourselves. You do that through trusting, obeying, and drawing your life from Him instead of yourself. So,
And I didn't read that when we were talking.
I know I snuck that one in there on you. It's so
I know.
crazy. Mm. Um, okay, so let's jump to Jesus's example. Actually, wait, before we do that, I just read my note that you said, I'm here to help and not control or take over.
Yeah.
We read a book, I don't know if you read it, but I think we've talked about it a long time ago. It's either Girl Stop Apologizing or Girl Wash Your Face. I don't
Yeah.
remember which one it is, but
Okay.
one of them, it talked about how when you deny other people's help, you
Yeah.
are rejecting, you're taking away fulfillment from that person.
Yeah, you messed me up with that before.
Yeah, it messed me up when I read it.
Yeah.
Because I was always like, that's where you were saying about pride blocks us from receiving, but it also blocks us from allowing someone else who's offering to help from participating with God as well.
Mhm.
And that, I had to say that on this
Yeah, like
call.
you're not receiving the goodness of God.
And you're also not allowed, you're blocking someone else from receiving the goodness of God because
Yeah.
they get fulfillment in their heart and joy and peace and love. They get to feel all that when they help you. So, like, you're not only cutting yourself off, you're cutting them off too. And that really messed me up. Okay, Jesus's example. We're going to go to John 5:19. Do, do, do. 5:19. And they're trying to kill Jesus. The Jewish leaders are persecuting him. And he says to them in verse 17, My Father is always at his work to this very day, and I too am working. For this reason, they tried all the more to kill him. Not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but he was even calling God his own Father, making himself equal to God. Jesus gave them this answer: Very truly, I tell you, the Son can do nothing by himself. He can only do what he sees his Father doing, because whatever the Father does, the Son also does. Okay, and I'm going to stop right there. 5:19. So the Son can do nothing by himself. He can only see what he sees the Father doing. And then if you jump down to verse 30, he says it again: By myself I can do nothing. I judge only as I hear, and my judgment is just, for I seek not to please myself, but him who sent me. And then we're going to jump one more space to chapter 8, verses 28 and 29. And he says, so Jesus said, when you have lifted up the Son of Man, then you will know that I am he, and I do nothing on my own, but speak just what the Father has taught me. The one who sent me is with me. He has not left me alone, for I always do what pleases him. Okay. So what is, like, he's not saying it once. He keeps repeating it over and over and over. Nothing by myself. Nothing by myself. So we have to think, like, is Jesus acting independently from God? No.
No.
So if dependence wasn't beneath Jesus, why do we think it's beneath us?
Because the world
Mm,
world celebrates independence.
yes.
And yeah, you're also mentioning your kids yesterday that they have independence, but I think one of the backstagers was like, we do have like a little bit of independence in our life of people, but not of God. Like, and to teach that to our kids, I was talking to my my cousin yesterday about like how my grandma impacted my life so much. And I don't think I was dependent on my grandma ever, but like it was always, God was always there. But did I did I go to him in the hard moments? No.
Mm-hmm.
I went to myself. I went to the world. Give me that diet pill. Like like or give me whatever and maybe we can solve it that way, but God, like, God will show you the way, um if you let him. And it is like a surprisingly not surprisingly, it is way different, a different lifestyle to do that because the world celebrates independence.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously
Mm.
Independence Day coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, when you're saying that, it's like literally teeing us up for the next part, right? Like, what does what do we do when is hard? Like when we get into those tough spaces, and Jesus models that for us in Luke, in the Garden of Gethsemane, Luke 22. And I turned to the wrong section, so give me a second. Luke 22, verses 39 and 40. I'm sorry, 39 through 46. So it says, Jesus went out as usual to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples followed him. On reaching the place, he said to them, Pray that you will not fall into temptation. He withdrew about a stone's throw behind them, knelt down, and prayed, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. An angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. And being in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. When he rose from prayer, he went back to the disciples. He found them asleep, exhausted from sorrow. Why are you sleeping? He asked them. Get up and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. So, when it was the hardest for Jesus to depend on God, he prays, and he prays honestly and humbly, but he also submits himself and his will to God's will. And then he trusts that what God instructs him is going to be the best thing. So that messes me up every single time I read that section.
Yeah. And today's verse of the day was Romans 8:18. Yeah, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. And the lady in the video was talking about how she had pneumonia in both lungs and she was sepsis and all, and she's like, by the grace of God, I survived. And so like yeah, Jesus was going into his death here.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew that. But like that pain before, like to display to us today that the pain it could be painful. Um, but yesterday, like even in my Ask God prayer, like it will not kill you. That pain didn't kill him, people killed him. And
Correct.
so sometimes we feel that pain in different ways. I don't think could be a physical, mental, all these pains, depending on what storm we're going through. But it's not worth like when it says it's not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Like we should be chasing the glory and not the pain in it
Mm.
because he promised goodness.
I would even say it chasing the glory, not the release from the pain.
Yeah, like our relief, the immediate relief last week.
Mm. Mm. We chasing the glory.
And remember, like backstage, you were sharing that sometimes your rooted thing. Can you share that?
Am I rooted?
When you were
Oh
talking,
yeah, 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 yeah. So, as I've started my journey with reading the Bible more and understanding more and recalling more, what tends to happen when I'm trying to explain or work through or even ask somebody for advice, Cheryl's like, "Yes, this is you all the time." I'm like, "I know it's annoying to me. I know it's annoying to you." When I'm trying to say something,
like, I just know it's you.
before I even get out my thing I'm struggling with or my pain, my brain or my heart, whatever, somewhere inside starts like washing it or cut like one way of I think of it is like I'm washing it with the word, right? Like, okay, there's this dirty thought that I know is not good, it's not healthy, I don't want it there. So like it's like a weed. But instead of pulling the weed when it's out of the ground, it's like I'm taking a pair of scissors and I'm just cutting it like, oh nope, here's the Bible verse
And I
that
was cutting weights like that yesterday. So I understood what you were saying.
I had no idea you did
I
that yesterday.
know.
But I
But
have this
not
weed
getting down to the root of
yes, because
weed.
if you just cut weeds with scissors or you roll over them with the lawnmower, guess what's still there? The root system, and they're gonna come back because they can do that. So yesterday after our call, I started listening to one of the podcasts that Cheryl sent me, and it was talking about dwelling and abiding. And I was like, okay, let me look at these words. And we talked about abide on the call, and then you said dwelling too on the call. It was all just kind of coming together. And I was like, okay, I realized in listening to that, I let myself finally like, Candace, just let yourself say the thought. Like, don't correct yourself. Just let it come up. Let what the pain is, let what the fear is, just let it come up. And so then I texted it to Cheryl. But then I also realized I'm not dwelling with God as much. Like I read scripture, I'll look at the verse of the day, I'll read in my Bible, I'll be here for these calls, I'll talk about God, but I'm not dwelling. I'm not making the intentional time to be silent, be still, and know. And so yesterday at soccer practice, or he had a scrimmage, I sat where I could watch him, but I sat in my car so that I had no distractions and minimal distractions. And I was just like, okay, God, talk to me in this moment. And I wasn't trying to direct God either. I was just like,
Yeah.
talk to me. And then it was like, look up like the verses for dwelling and abiding. And so I just kind of was sitting with him with that. And it was just so it wasn't like some big revelation came to me in it, you guys, okay? So dwelling, it was just the part of depending on him, being present while you're there, not just in passing, like so.
Yeah, and just saying because yes, we've been not even like I'm not like a lifelong Christian, I wouldn't say. I grew up Catholic and I just got the Bible, I guess it was last year.
Right.
Um, but it feels like 20 years. But like when it was last year, but it feels like 20 years, like you think you know everything and then God reveals other things in the same scripture. That's what happened I think yesterday when you're reading Matthew 7. And you're like, I don't know why I'm reading this whole thing, but I guess I'm gonna read it all. I was like, okay, yes, I love Matthew 7.
I
Because
love
it
that.
was one of the ones that like got me like out of some chains of
Yeah.
worry, of judgment, of all these things. So, but seeing it differently, like for the moment that I was in, like um, sorry, letting it, God cook in it versus letting myself cook in it. Because I
Yeah.
think that's what we do. It's like we know, like we're gonna use this for what we need right now, but not letting God take you through the journey. And I always like in our posts, I always hashtag faith journey because it's a journey. Like we see Jesus's journey through Gethsemane, through all the things happening. Like we're gonna be going on that journey too. Like we go through that journey. It's not like, okay, we're fixed. We can go like when people go to rehab, they go and get fixed. And then they come back and they're like, oh, but this is like a different lifestyle. And you're not in your controlled space anymore. But now we have to acclimate to what we are or change everything. And that's how, like, I kind of feel like when you get saved, it's not like a one-time thing,
Mm,
everyday thing. You pick up your cross every day. I know to me, that was so dramatic before, but
mhm.
it's not dramatic. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Like you said, it doesn't have to be a big revelation every day. It doesn't have to, like, even in that moment that you had with God, I didn't understand the text when you said, like, I need to get more with God because I didn't, because I'm like, oh, ooh, like what you said, like, I do these calls, I'm in the Bible, but not letting, so you're saying, like, you want to let God cook more, or like what?
Yeah, so what I'm meaning for me specifically is the listening piece, like, which is funny because that was a word. If you were here a couple weeks ago, God's
Can I
like,
ask that? Or
listen.
that was the thing that I read to you earlier. Listen.
But it's like being available. What did you say about you said it about your family?
Yeah, just
Like
being
being
available.
present.
Yeah, being present in the moment.
Here, oh, you were saying that about your idea for you and the kids.
Yes.
You're not trying to, it's not about teaching, it's about presence. It's
Yes.
like you're not trying to teach something, you're not trying to fix something, you're not trying to do anything. And I think when I go to God, I'm not necessarily trying to teach, but I'm also kind of not letting him direct some of it or just being like, "Good morning, like what do you want to say to me today?" Like I feel like it's more of an in passing or and yes, this call is an hour typically, or this call is more like 40 minutes. The other one's like an hour plus call, right? But it's like, is that a long, that's not passing, Candace. But when you look at like how many hours are in a whole week, it's
Yeah.
really not that much. And for the calls, I feel like it is more of like sharing with other people versus really letting God cook with me. Like, what do you want to say to me, God? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just here, just being present and just dwelling with Him, or even just sitting with sitting with even just one verse and saying, like, what is that saying to me? I don't know. It's just more of like an availability, I think was what you were also
Yeah.
saying
And
yesterday.
you keep saying, when we're talking about dwelling, like, and we've created
Yeah.
a dwelling place, but we haven't launched it yet. But now I'm thinking, I'm like, when we originally created it, it was supposed to be this nice, like,
Community.
community, comforting, and all these things. And now I'm like, we cannot we cannot tell people it's gonna be comfortable in here because it's gonna be uncomfortable because everything's gonna bubble up and you're like, what? Ooh, and you're like, but God, but I think that's what we need.
We need it.
Like we don't need the comfortable area. We make ourselves comfortable in everything. I was even thinking my bed here at home, I was like, I have bed sheets and a comforter and all these things I could bring down, like to make it more comfortable. So, like, we already do that in our lives, but I think God wants us to be uncomfortable
Mm,
because He wants our attention
mm.
in some places.
And let me just say this. Oh my gosh, perfect tee up.
Thank you
The
for not reading.
dependency isn't tested when life is easy. It is revealed when surrender costs us something.
Yes. And you were talking about cost, or I was, oh no, we
You
were
you were
talking
talking about the house,
about.
and that stood out to me was the cost. The cost what we think our salvation cost us
Yes.
is way less than us trying to independently
Yeah.
figure it
And I
out.
hope people can follow because we have a lot of backstage conversations and we're like, yes, that's what we're talking about. But
I think that's what makes this community and this page unique is that you feel like you're backstage. I've had people say that to us. Like, I feel like I'm in the circle. We hope you are seeing this and you are in our circle. We would absolutely love you to
yes,
be backstage with us, literally right now, and or in the comments.
yes,
But like, we love that, and that's what
yes,
we're. I know there will come a time where we will have more of that happening. It
yes.
might not be right now, it might not be next year. I don't even know when it is, but I know that that's what God intended for this because it was very clear before we even knew what the community was. But
And this perspective is like the perspective of waiting.
yes,
Like when you feel like you're in a waiting period, or
yes.
worry, we've talked about it before too, that we can, if God needs us to be waiting, He lets people wait a lot in the Bible.
Noah, I've never seen rain, but apparently I got to build this huge ark.
But yeah, like He lets people wait. But you have in that waiting, I don't know, we can't like give you the magic pill to be like,
Yes.
you have to do this, this, and this, and He'll answer your prayer.
Mm-mm.
I think just being like anticipating the glory of God in it, because I feel like sometimes when I anticipate that glory, it's the whole thing that made me like start this journey. Well, yes, Candace was part of it, but God was already cooking before that. Like life is not supposed to be this hard. That's what I felt like. And
Mhm.
I was like, God said to prosper and like, or I saw a verse saying that when I was like, God was cooking. And I was like, okay, but I wasn't paying attention to that before. I was paying attention to me, 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 and I could do it all myself because no one can help me, like being
Miss
so yeah,
Independent. What you know?
don't talk to me. Like that was me. And now I'm like, please talk to me. I want to hear what you have to say. Like, and it's just different. It's like coming out of rehab. You're like, I want to hear everyone. Like, um, but having that foundation
Mm,
going into it, having that dependence on God, knowing that He's your Lord and Savior, that makes it different.
yeah.
And that hard moment. And I was trying to say that when we anticipate the glory of God, because I'm so vision casting all the time, and helps you. It helps you get that clear path. It helps you get that next step because you're looking for something good.
Mm,
You're not looking for like what's that moment and what's happening. Um, so like when you're doing a run. There's always an end to the run. It's sometimes, I guess. It's like when you're doing a race.
There's definitely an end to my runs.
So like when you're like, okay, when I get there, this is you already like tell yourself this
So
is
hold on.
okay.
This is divine alignment. Okay, are you ready?
No.
Oh my gosh. This was Drew's shirt. Okay. The first ever Disney half marathon I did, he was wearing this cheer squad and he was at the castle. I knew that that was the 5 mile mark. So
Oh,
I knew when I get there, when I see him, I'm at my pace. Like this is what I've been doing at the gym. And
yeah.
you're talking about when you get there, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm wearing this shirt that I didn't even know we still had. Mackenzie's like, whose shirt is this? And she brings it out, and I'm like, it's mine now. I'm
But
taking
yeah,
it.
you look towards the milestone and it shows you, it gives you hope.
Yes,
And that hope fosters
more.
goodness. And
Yes,
even goodness like for that next step.
yes. And here's what happened. I knew I could, without stopping, make it to 5 miles. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it to the castle, and then I'll be good. And guess what? I made it to the castle. Pitt stopped her quick kiss. He took a photo, and then I just keep going.
Yeah.
And then before I know it, I'm like, mile 7, mile 8, mile 9, mile 10 is coming up. And I'm like, okay, my foot is starting to hurt because I didn't pre qualify. And then I'm texting, I'm FaceTiming, but I was able to run. And then I was about to stop, and Drew side texted me, no, you don't. And then he starts telling me my kids, right? He's motivating me like Kaylee Brooke, Gabrielle Grace, Landon, and I'm like, okay. And I'm hobbling along. I made it 13.1 miles without really stopping, except
Yeah.
slowing down for drinks and then pit stops for selfies. That's it. I didn't ever run more than 7 miles without stopping before that.
Yeah.
Because I used the little steps, I knew I could get to the castle. It propelled so much more hope and drive in me for the rest of the race.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. Using that ending sometimes helps depending on the things. But the
Yeah,
dependence is not like I deserve dependence either. That pain.
right.
Why is God not here? Why is he quiet? Why is all these things? But it's like maybe he's quiet for a reason because you still didn't let him cook.
Well, you
Like,
didn't take the step he told you to take. You tried to erase the step, negotiate the step, update the step. Cheryl, go sit with your neighbor. Don't turn it into some whole big plan, right? So, but we might not have listened. So that was what yesterday too, for going like bringing it back to like dwelling and depending. Like I was like, okay, don't try to. I just heard, don't try to fix it, Candace. Just say it, and I say it, and then it's like, okay, now there's not an answer right
but you
away,
didn't die when you said it.
huh?
You didn't die when you said it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw up, but still, I didn't throw up either, thankfully. So how do we put this dependency into application, right? And like what would it look like on an ordinary day of the week? And to me, it's it's a lot of little things that can add up, right? Number one thing could just be making the time. Like I guarantee you, if you tell me you don't have time, look at your scroll history. Before you open up any social media, maybe you just sit for 5 minutes. Start with five, start with one if you have to, right? So making the time. And but then like in the more practical things that you might be doing, praying before you respond to something like an email or text or maybe even word to word. You might be like, hold up. Let me take a pause. Pausing before reacting.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been praying for that like intercession a lot. Like, okay, God, come into me. Like, give me the pause before
Yeah.
the reaction. Let me zip and sit. Inviting him into your decisions. I feel like if you are kind of practicing, I feel like the big decisions, we're more inclined to do that. asking before we assume. And like maybe before we assume something, which is so funny. This morning
Oh, my husband.
I assumed my husband had left without kissing me this morning because it was late. And
Mm.
I was like, oh yeah, he did it again. But I didn't die. I'm sitting on the, the toilet peeing. And he comes in and I was like, oh, you're still here. But I went to God actually in that assumption. I was like, oh well, okay. And then I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. Don't say anything. And
Mhm.
then guess what? He comes around the corner. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. So I went to him before assuming, or I started to assume, but I went to God with the assumption.
Yeah.
Um, Listen before
Pause.
speaking,
Yeah.
trusting before controlling. So, um, so we just invite you to put that into practice this week and invite God in. And the pause, you were calling attention to that from
And
that
we're having a
podcast.
pause tomorrow because we're not going to have a call
We are having a pause tomorrow. We are pausing your dependency
on
on our
purpose.
act.
Just kidding.
God was cooking before we knew he was cooking. That's all that you need to know. So I want to call this the pause of dependency, like pausing yourself before and inviting him in and becoming that invitation shows your dependency on him. And and then if you want to go deeper with this with God right now, you can kind of ask him to highlight or think about where dependency is the hardest for you. Is it in waiting, finances, relationship, or ships, your health, parenting, uncertainty, suffering, etc., any of that? And once you ask God to like help you, you're going to probably know the answer to that. Then you go to God with it and you depend on him like God, show me, help me to release this control that I've been holding on to over this specific place. Um,
Oh my gosh, that's reminding me of like when I was doing coaching,
mhm.
receiving coaching calls. It was always like that pause, or like you don't want to ask the question. Like if you're afraid to ask the question and because you think you know the answer, just ask the question.
Yes.
So I felt like I needed to say that reminder to people because be like, I already know the answer. I should eat broccoli.
Yeah, stop cutting your weeds with your scissors. That's what that is. I know the answer. I need to eat broccoli. No, maybe you don't. Maybe broccoli's gonna make you gassy and bloated. Who knows? But one final thought that I was like, oh, we gotta say this one. Maybe the greatest sign of spiritual maturity, because I like that instead of independence now,
Mhm,
isn't how much you can do for Jesus. It's how little you're willing to do without him.
mhm.
So make this week your goal to do as close to nothing without him as possible. So
Yes.
we love you. We hope you have a blessed week, and we will see you next week. Stay tuned for the surprise and mystery of how many days and calls we're going to have because we don't even know. All right. We love you guys.